our volunteer training class, and I'm Tracy Parker. I'm the volunteer coordinator at Carolina Poodle Rescue. I'm going to go through some of the steps and the procedures that we have here while we're sitting in here where it's nice and cool and quiet, and then a little bit later on we'll do a tour, and a lot of the things that I say here, you'll kind of see those as we go through the different parts of the kennel and the cottages. The steps to becoming a volunteer, the first thing you guys have already done, fill out a volunteer application. Somebody will get in touch with you. They might ask you a few questions, especially if you haven't adopted from us before. If you're a previous adopter, it's much easier, much smoother process. Once you're cleared, I'll get in touch with you and schedule an appointment for you to come down. Whether you come down for a training in person or you're watching a video, either way you'll need to schedule a time to come down for the tour, because that's something that somebody here, a staff member or a volunteer, will have to take you through the kennel the first time or two. When you come to the farm, the first thing you're going to see is you're going to come through a gate, which we'll go look at when we do our tour. Sometimes when you come, the gate is open and sometimes it's closed. I'd ask that you just put it back however you found it. You're welcome when you pull up to open that gate, but if it is closed, please pull it through the gate and get back out, or have someone get back out and lock it. So just put it back however you found it. Sometimes we like to have it closed, especially if we have a lot of new dogs, or if we have a lot of adoptions going on. If we have adoptions going on with our bigger dogs, we need to get those out and about, and we want to have that gate closed for protection. So just put it back however it was when you got here. When you come through the gates, whether it's your first time and you're coming for training or a tour, or whether you've been here before, either way, when you come through the gates and get out of your car, you need to check in with a staff member and let them know that you're here. We always want to know that people are on the facility. Introduce yourself. Our staff changes from time to time, so you may not know the staff member and they may not know you. So we don't want them to come upon you and not know who you are and why you're here. So just introduce yourself and let them know you're here. While you're at the farm, anytime that you're at the farm, I'm going to go over what to wear and what to bring to the farm. Please always have shoes that completely cover your feet. You can have tennis shoes. A lot of people like to wear the waterproof boots. Anything that's waterproof is always good. Whatever you wear, be prepared to get it dirty, but for safety reasons, we want shoes that completely cover the top and bottom of your feet, no sandals or flip-flops. I wear long pants when I'm here. It's very hot today and it gets very hot throughout the summer. You can wear shorts or capris, that's fine. I always wear long pants because when dogs are happy to see you, they jump up on you, they may claw you. So just for that reason, I always wear long pants, but it's not required, that's up to you. In cold weather, if you come in the winter months, dress in layers. You might be in one of the cottages and those are heated, so you might get a little bit warm. If you're working with our bigger dogs, you might get outside and of course it's cold. In sunny weather, please use sunscreen and please bring bug spray. There are a lot of gnats, mosquitoes, and that kind of things around, and they do a good job of controlling those as far as the dogs, but you'll want bug spray while you're here. What to bring, when you get here, you'll realize that we're not near a restaurant and we're not near very many stores. So go ahead and bring anything that you're going to need while you're here. Snacks, drinks, we have refrigerators here that you're welcome to use. I like to bring dog treats. There's always dog treats around, but they can always use more. You can bring cut up hot dogs, you can bring pepperoni, or you can bring whatever dog treats you feed your own dogs at home. If you are willing to help transport dogs, I would suggest that just in case that situation comes up, if you have an extra crate or travel crate, throw that in the car. Throw some extra water bottles, some extra blankets and towels. You never know. There have been many times where I've pulled up and had plans to work with a dog, and a staff member comes running up and says, I need this dog taken to the emergency vet, and off we go. So if you've already got a crate and towels and water and all of that in your car, it's quick. You can just hop in and go. And that does happen from time to time. So if that's something that you're willing to do or you're interested in doing, just go ahead and throw that in the car and be prepared. Basic rules while you're here. Check in once you get here. Check in upon arrival. The other thing is, we've gone through different ways of staying in touch. Once you get out in one of the cottages or out in the facility, sometimes you're not near a person and with dogs barking, they can't hear you. We've used walkie-talkies in the past. Those really haven't worked long term, what I like to do is bring a whistle and wear it around my neck. The staff here knows that if they hear a whistle, then you need help, and they will come towards that whistle. Either way, just have a way of staying in contact if you see an emergency. We have a volunteer board in the office, and I'll show that to you. Once you get here and you check in with a staff member, check that volunteer board. There's good information on there. One thing that's on there is information about dogs that need attention. So if you get here and you're not specifically planning on working with a dog that Donna may have called you about or you may have seen on the Facebook page, you can check the board and there'll be pictures, descriptions, and what that dog needs, all listed on the volunteer board. There's also a list of things that are always needed, and we'll go over those. And then the other thing that you want to check the volunteer board for is there's a way to check in, to put your name on the board so that people know you're here, and there's also a space on that board so that if there are any precautions that you need to know about. One of the precautions that we have here, very rarely, but it does happen, if we've taken in dogs that may have been exposed to parvo, we'll have a parvo precaution up. If we have parvo precaution, then anytime you walk through a door or gate, you'll need to step through a bleach bath when you go through that gate. Things like that will be posted on the volunteer board if it's going on. So that'll just let you know things that are going on that you might need to know about. While you're here, we would ask that just follow a few basic safety rules. One is never open a crate to get a dog out unless you absolutely 100% know that dog, or unless a staff member says it's okay. A lot of our dogs they protect their crate. They're possessive of their crate. So while they may be just sweet and gentle, if you try to reach in or if you try to open that crate door, they might snap at you. So just know the dogs and know that it's okay before you do that. Use extra precaution when you're entering and exiting doors and gates. These little dogs will just slip right through your feet and they'll get in the wrong spot in a hurry. Just like we talked about with the gate coming in, any doors or gates, always close those behind you. If you're walking 2 or 3 people in a line, we ask that you walk through one at a time and shut that gate. As soon as you try to get 2 or 3 people in a line through the same door, you're going to have at least that many dogs along with you. So they can slip right through your feet in a hurry. We only use positive reinforcement training at the farm. So never yell at a dog. Obviously never hit a dog or strike a dog. It's my experience that if you reward a dog for doing what you want them to do, then they will do what you want them to do. And they'll learn, and those negative behaviors will kind of phase out. There are other things, other unwanted behaviors that need correction, but we still don't use punishment. We only use positive reinforcement. With a lot of our puppies, we go through puppy mouthing, and I'll talk about some ways that you can work with puppies to teach them not to puppy mouth. We have a lot of dogs that need leash training. We do a big adoption event twice a year up in New York, and every dog that goes to New York has to be leash trained. So when we get close to that time where we're taking dogs up to those events, any dog that's not leash trained that's on the list to go, they will need to be leash trained before Donna will agree to take them up there to find a home. Other unwanted behaviors, I mean, just nipping. Obviously the house training is a big thing that we work on here. Any of those things, I'll go over some ways that you can work on that. And you guys know from having your own dogs at home what to do and how to work on that. One of the things that I want to caution, and feel free, Linda, to stop me if you have questions or comments. I know you don't want to be on the video, but it's okay. One of the things that we do have happen here is we have between 150 and 200 dogs on the facility at almost any given time, and that's a lot of dogs. If you put 150 to 200 people in a facility, some of them would not like each other. It's no different with dogs. Sometimes they just don't like each other. With people, we can usually work it out with words. With dogs, sometimes they unfortunately work it out in other ways. If you, the best way to not have a dog fight with another dog is just to avoid that situation. But if you do see it happen, get somebody's attention quickly. Use your whistle. Don't try to intervene and break that dog fight up yourself, but every staff member here is trained on how to do that and how to do it safely for the dog and safely for the people. So we ask that you don't intervene yourself. Definitely get a staff member's attention. If you see or hear something like that going on and there are already staff working on that, go ahead and go to that spot and be available. They may need your help as far as handing a dog off, opening a crate, opening a gate, opening a door. So just be there to help them. When you meet a dog for the first time, I'd ask that you use proper meet and greet techniques. Most dogs, even if you've seen them or worked with them, if it's been a week or two, that doesn't seem like long to us. We've been thinking about them for that week or two. And they're on our minds, but a week or two is a long time for a dog. So even if you've worked with that dog, or if it's the first time that you're meeting a dog, use proper meet and greet techniques. If they're cute little puppies and they're already coming up and jumping on you, it's okay to reach down and pet them. But if you walk into a fenced area or a kennel area and there's a dog cowering in the corner, please don't try to just immediately reach out. I would say the best way to do that is to let a dog come to you. Let a dog sniff you. Let a dog be around you. Let them hear your voice. Let them catch your scent and catch your demeanor. And just be very calm and patient with them. I don't recommend that you reach over top of the head of a dog, especially a dog that you don't know. You can imagine if someone walked up to you and stuck their hand on top of your head, how uncomfortable that would make you feel. Some dogs like to be petted on the head. A lot of dogs like to be scratched around the ears, and that's great if they've already gotten to know you and trust you. But on first meeting, I would say give them just a few minutes before you try to reach out to them. If you want to move a dog from one area to another, that's fine. Sometimes they're out in the fenced areas and it's hard to really work with a dog when there's 20 other dogs around. So it's fine to move a dog. Just ask whoever is on staff in that area before you do that. One, it will make sure that that you're okay to move that dog, and two, it lets the staff member know, because if they start looking for that dog and they don't know where the dog is and you've taken them into a cooler office or somewhere quiet, they're going to panic thinking that dog's missing, and we're going to start looking for him. The other thing, watch your surroundings when you're out on the facility. Saturdays are busy days for adoptions, Fridays and Saturdays, so there'll be a lot of dogs moving in and out. If you're working with a dog, or if you have a dog on a leash and one of the staff members is bringing a dog through, be sure to keep a fence between you and that dog, because you don't know. Those dogs might be two dogs that don't get along. So if somebody's walking from the kennel up to the adoption area and you're working with another dog, just kind of leave some space. So just kind of heads up, be aware of what's going on. I've already gone through, always close gates and doors behind you, even if you're coming right back. I can't stress that enough. Not only close the gate or the door, but check it to make sure that it latches. I cannot stress that enough, how quickly these dogs can move into a different area or get out. We'll go through some things that the staff needs help with from time to time. We mostly want volunteers socializing and working with dogs, but one of the ways that you can socialize and work with dogs is to just do simple chores and let the dogs be around you. This helps the staff, and it gives the dogs a chance to get to know you, and it's less intimidating for them. Laundry, scooping poop, sweeping, mopping, changing crate pads, washing dog bowls, changing out water, especially in the summer. The water gets hot just within a matter of minutes, so you can change that water out every 20 to 30 minutes and it will be a great help. When you're doing all of those things, be sure any cleaning supplies, mops, that kind of thing that you use, clean them and put them back where you got them. It takes away from the staff's time if they have to go and look for their equipment and their supplies. And the final thing is, visit our website before you come down, especially if you haven't been here in a while. Go on the Facebook page, go on the Carolina Poodle Rescue website, look at the dogs that are available, look at our SOS dogs, and it will help you to get familiar with names and faces. They do change. Poodles have to be groomed, so their picture might be with really short hair, and you might come down here and they might have really long hair. That's okay, but just it just helps you to be familiar with who's on site and who might need help, who might need your attention. What some things that you might be asked to do while you're here. I would say the biggest thing is be flexible. There's no telling what you might be asked to do. If it makes you uncomfortable, it's okay to say no, we understand, but the more flexible you can be, certainly the more help that you'll be while you're here. You might be asked to scoop poop, sweep and mop floors, refill water bowls, help hand out food, change crate bedding, wash bowls, wash dogs, help with laundry, move dogs back and forth to the vet, change around. Our facility is, at any given time, it can be completely rearranged and it has to be that way, because when you've got 27 dogs coming in at one time, you've got to be able to quickly rearrange this facility to house those dogs. So sometimes you might be asked to help move some fencing, move some crates around, move some barriers around. So just be flexible. If you have built a relationship with a particular dog, and this does happen sometimes through transport or sometimes just through your volunteer time here, we might ask you to meet with a potential adopter, because if you've spent time and built a relationship with that dog, you can be a great help to transitioning him or her into a new home. Some things that you should not do while you're here. Work with dogs that make you feel uncomfortable. I've been here for several years now, and there are still dogs here that make me feel uncomfortable, and a dog can sense that. The funny thing is, a volunteer might walk in tomorrow and they can walk right in and work with that dog, and that doesn't hurt my feelings at all. But if I'm uncomfortable with any dog, I don't work with them, just simply because the dog can sense my hesitation and sense that fear. Don't work with dangerous or aggressive dogs. There are a few dogs on site that we would say are off limits to our volunteers. And it's not to say that these are bad dogs, but they're sanctuary dogs and they're here for a reason. They've built relationships with staff members. They do get attention while they're here, but just for safety reasons, there are some dogs that I will point out that we would just ask for our volunteers not to work with, especially until you've been here more and you've maybe built a relationship or a trust level. Don't move dogs from one area to another without asking a staff member, for the reasons that I already covered. If you take a dog out from a run and you put them up here to work with, that's great. It's a great experience for that dog to get that one-on-one attention. But when they start to put those dogs up to feed them and they're missing one, they're going to panic. So please let the staff member know who's working that area that you're moving a dog, and make sure it's okay. Don't take a dog off of our facility unless you've already gotten that approved with a staff member. Any dog who leaves our facility has to have paperwork, they have to have a CPR tag, and we've got to know where they're going, why, and when they're coming back, and who they're with, obviously for safety reasons. And finally, don't bring unapproved volunteers with you. When I first started coming down here, a lot of people said, "Oh, you get to play with doggies, I want to come." And of course they do. I mean, it's fun. So that's great. We'd like to have them too, but they need to come through our training program, and they need to come through our tour, just for safety reasons for our dog and for our volunteers too. He's a grumpy young man. You might want to edit that out, Captain. He'll growl at you, but he's just a grumpy old man, but he's cute.
Don't bother me. I've had him growl at me. I'm not afraid of it.
I love him. He's so cute. He's so
adorable.